Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Chair the God Man. Listen. We're talking about a wondrous, legendary fight here between Tatsumaki and Sukuna. So let's just get right to it. First of all, Sukuna is sensational. He got RCT, reverse curse technique, for those that don't know, which means he can regenerate from almost any injury, unless you split his body in half, chop his head off, or actually pulling his head out doesn't do anything. He stays alive because he keeps his blood pumping with his curse technique, because he's just that sufficient and efficient at using it. It's incredible. So he's very, very hard to put down unless you have a very powerful attack that can take him down in one go. To top it off, he has these invisible slashing abilities that you can sense if you pay attention. You can actually sense and dodge and block and weave, but you have to be very, 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 very aware. If you get caught off guard, you are cut in half or in pieces and you are cooked. And then he has this thing called a domain expansion. Domain expansion is like a created, fabricated reality that steps upon the real world. And within that domain expansion, right, he gets a boost in strength and power and speed and all of that. And to top it off, he's innate ability or technique, which is the slashes, the invisible slashes, literally spawn onto you or get thrown at you like instantly all the time. And if that's not enough, if that connects the cleave and the dismantle, and he's not changing the property of his domain expansion, he can basically bring out a nuclear fire. Not nuclear, it's not that big. People exaggerate it. It's okay. It's explosion. It's a big explosion, massive, strong explosion, right? And it's a very powerful one. And he can incinerate you immediately. Now, I'm also going to give him something else, because I think in this fight, why not? He has this beast called Maharaga, okay? And Maharaga can adapt to any and all phenomena. On top of that, I'm going to say he has all these forearms and Maharaga. And in fact, Maharaga is automatically summoned. And in this fight, Maharaga is allowed, he's going to be allowed to use Maharaga while simultaneously being able to use all his abilities all in one go. Why am I allowing him all these caveats? Oh, he also has the world cutting slash neg. Well, it negs durability. I must say kind of. I'm not going to say negs every durability. It kind of negs durability. In his world, it negs durability. Because I don't think that world cutting slash is working on Saitama. I'm just letting you know. The world itself is not strong enough to cut Saitama. So I'm just, that's what I think. But he's not against Saitama. He's against Tatsumaki. He's also very fast and very smart. And then we have Tatsumaki. She's a woman, very little in stature, very, very angry also. Like Sukuna is angry, but he's like, not really. He's enjoying himself, to be honest. Tatsumaki is angry like all the time, and for like no good reason. She is just pissed all the time. So she starts her fights quite aggressively. So does Sukuna. He usually begins by sending slashes, right? The thing is, Maki can sense the world cutting slashes. In fact, Yuta can also sense see the world cutting slashes, because he puts up his sword to block it when Sukuna sends it. Now, one of the reasons, Yuta sees it is because obviously he does the chant and the finger point. I'm gonna give him no need for chants and finger point. He can just make it appear. He still has to aim at the target with his mind. But I'm gonna allow him that. But the thing is, Maki could still see and block that because of the air current, yada yada yada. Now, Tatsumaki hasn't necessarily shown this, but I think it's quite clear that she would definitely notice it. But I'm not even going to allow her to notice it, right? Because we also know that the world cutting slash actually travels. It doesn't spawn, it travels. So, how will Tatsumaki win? Well, she has this psychic ability. Like, the strongest psychic ability in her world. In fact, she's strong enough to lift Saitama, who didn't really want to be lifted. And that takes an insane amount of force. And see, Sukuna doesn't waste time, but neither does Tatsumaki. Tatsumaki would immediately incapacitate him. Immediately. And by doing so, actually, no, I forgot. I actually misinterpreted Sukuna's wall cutting slash. He does need to send to actually use his hands, unless he uses a binding vow. So we can do either or. But Tatsumaki would have him squeezed up, squashed, and thrown into space so quickly it literally wouldn't matter, because that's just how she fights. Like, do you remember that big dinosaur that she sent a meteor from the sky and just pulverized it? Yeah, her initial move is always, I'm just going to get rid of you right now, right? In character, Tatsumaki obliterates, and I mean obliterates Sukuna. If we're gonna say that Sukuna gets to send off a slash first, I actually think Tatsumaki can probably block the wall cutting slash, to be quite honest with you. But we'll give it to Sukuna. That's his only win con, is by catching Tatsumaki off guard and world slashing her. The thing is, you can't really catch her off guard because she is very, very attentive. In fact, in the Monster Association arc, she actually is holding back quite significantly because she didn't want to destroy or kill the heroes, because we're protecting all the heroes, squeezing. She squeezed like the whole city, like, without much effort. And she tanked an attack that sliced the actual world. You know? Like, it literally slashed the world, and slashed a piece of the earth. And that piece of the earth flew up to the sky, and Tatsumaki tanked that attack. So I don't think slashing the world would actually work on her. But we're just going to give Sukuna the benefit of the doubt. But the problem is, Tatsumaki doesn't waste any time. So the fight starts, Tatsumaki lifts up Sukuna and squeezes him into nothingness, as well as Maharga. They both die instantly. And literally, Maharga has no time to adapt because Tatsumaki wastes no time. And the thing is, if let's say he somehow survives all squeezing phenomena or whatever, or I don't think he even can. He's just gonna die. I'm sorry. Tatsumaki absolutely obliterates. And if Sukuna does open his domain expansion, it literally will have no effect on Tatsumaki because her psychic block is way stronger than Infinity. And because she has no curse energy, her powers will not be, turned off, or her curse, she doesn't have curse energy, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna obviously say that his divine domain expansion would work anyway because it tackles any object. But yeah, that wouldn't work on her against her. The fire hour would not work on her either because her psychic block barrier is way too powerful for anyone, and I mean anyone in the story of Jujutsu Kaisen can actually break through. It's strong. It's as strong as Infinity, but I would say it's even stronger because domain application does not even work on it. That's how OP this shit is. A literal slash of the world didn't work on it. The only time she even got hit was when she was completely weakened. So I think Tatsumaki takes it quite easy, but Sukuna does have a win con. If we're gonna say that even though Tatsumaki is a feat blocking a slash that sliced the world, because Sukuna aims his target not as the person, but the space in which they inhabit, it cuts anyway. But I don't think that only works for Infinity because Infinity isn't like an extension of the person. But Tatsumaki's psychic barrier kind of is. We also know that she was able to even like take out like a mind control thing from somebody's mind. Like, she is very perceptive. She can see and sense and pay attention to details. I think there's like, out of 100 fights, Tatsumaki wins 99.9% of the fights, and Sukuna maybe gets lucky once. And Mahoraga really doesn't play a single factor. It would take it way too long to adapt to Tatsumaki, and Tatsumaki just has a million ways of killing it. So that's what I think. What you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. This is my race, my argument. But if you read One Punch manga, you would know just how infinitely more powerful Tatsumaki is. She's also a lot faster than him. But that's just, it's simple. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I'm out.